Well, it's time for some patch notes. We've got a pretty big update coming up next week on the 23rd, so let's read through the patch notes and see what's up. So first off is the big part, the thing everyone is interested in whenever we get a new patch. A new unit. And in this case, it's 2 new units. Everyone's favorite window-shattering superhero, LUH-place, is getting a tactical upgrade? Well, I don't know what we're calling these for Maxwell, but either way, the new and improved LUH-place Ultimate Hero, LUH for short, is our next banner. She's a rocket launcher, wind code, attacker unit. We don't have any details on her kit just yet, but I'm anxious to see what we're working with here. So one thing I've never really gotten to talk about when it comes to LUH-place is her model redesign. For the most part, I really like the design of Maxwell and Drake, but when it comes to LUH-place, I actually find myself preferring the older model of her. I like her really ditzy look in her shifty eyes, and it just really matches her personality. LUH-place's new model is very over the top, and I think it fits her very well, but I still think I just have the preference for the old one, and I'm kind of curious what everyone else thinks about that as well. But regardless, let's just move on with the rest of the patch notes. The week after, we'll be getting a second banner. This one is going to be for Maxwell Ordinary Mechanic, or MOM for short. I guess Mommy works as well. Maxwell is a sniper rifle wind code supporter, and there's no mention of Drake in this event, but I'm sure she's going to get her own banner and her own event in the very near future. If there's any manufacturer that's in dire need of some new, strong units, then it's definitely Maxwell. Neo Neon was a good addition to Maxwell, but the manufacturer as a whole still leaves a lot to be desired, especially when it comes to their selection of non-overspec units. The Maxwell tower is total pain, and even when I was making my wish list on my brand new account, there was nothing to be excited for when pulling for Maxwell units. So I have really high hopes for both of these new units. And as an added bonus, I think it's great that they're wind code, because Maxwell has like nothing in that department except for like Mana, who doesn't see much use at all. So I'm looking forward to getting the opportunity to check out their kits and giving them a proper breakdown whenever they're available. We're getting 2 new passes, one for LUH-place, which has a unique voiceover, and one for Maxwell, which does not. Sorry, Maxwell. We're also getting a gacha costume rerun for Dorothy's nostalgia outfit. I do really like this one, but I still don't have Dorothy, and at this point I don't think I'll even use her if I ever do get her. So this is an easy skip for me and an easy $60 saved. And of course, with some new units, we're gonna get a new event. The next event is titled Project Matisse, and it is fully voiced, which is amazing. I'm always a little bit disappointed when we're given unvoiced events. I get that it's expensive and they crank out these stories monthly, but the people over at Shift Up are making insane amounts of money at this point. The least you can do is give all of our events some voiceovers. It makes them so much easier to follow and engage with. But anyways, this is a 2-part story and it will run until mid-August. And of course, we're gonna get all the usual event elements, the shop, the challenges, daily login bonuses, you know the drill. New flavor is getting added to the archives, and we've got some full burst days coming up in August. And you know what? I'm just gonna say it. With how little materials we get and how hard they're pushing new Pilgrim and overspec units, in addition to really strong 2% units, they should just make every weekend a full burst event. It's hard to get excited for new units when you know you're not going to get to use them most of the time anyways, even if you do manage to pull them. But I'm not going to gripe too hard about that in this video, so let's just move on to the next piece. So here's another really big part of this update. We're getting a new hall in the Solo Raid Museum. This means tons more maintenance kits to earn, which is going to be especially nice for something else that's coming with this update. The 3 new bosses are Harvester, Crystal Chamber, and Indivilia. They'll be available in challenge mode and no limit mode. and I'm sure that everyone is foaming at the mouth at the opportunity of doing 3 new no limit bosses, because I definitely am. It also says here that no limit mode missions have been added for halls 1 and 2. I'm guessing they're just raising the ceiling with these changes because they mentioned that the rankings are going to be expanded as well. I don't know about you guys, but I have yet to get any ranking points for no limit mode in halls 1 or 2. Champion Arena Beta Season 35, who cares? Next Union Raid is on the 31st, which is next Friday. Next co-op raid starts on the same day, so start mentally preparing yourself for the inevitable disappointment and frustration. There's some new settings for tracing the stars. I don't play this game mode at all, so I have no idea what the significance is. And then here's a really nice quality of life change that I've been looking forward to for a while now. You don't have to periodically check your friends list throughout the day to claim all of your social points. You click once and you're done. Then you can claim all of your points the next day when you send out all of your points for the day. This is just one small victory in the eternal battle against the red notification dots. And then there's a few more UI adjustments coming alongside that. And then here's the last big part of the update. We are getting 4 new favorite items: Phantom, Sugar, Rosanna, and Flora. I think these are all good choices because these are 4 units that rarely see any use nowadays, except maybe for Rosanna in some PvP. But me, I'm especially excited to see what they do with Flora. I've always thought that she's had a very interesting and strong kit that's hindered by really unintuitive activation mechanics. And with the introduction of so many good true damage units recently, I think that a few tweaks to her kit and a few buffs could make her a really strong choice in the current meta. And I'll be honest, when it comes to the other 3, I'm not really sure what their kits are like because I've never actually used them. So I really don't have any expectations for them, but if they end up being strong, then that's awesome. And with that, we've covered pretty much everything there is to read through in these patch notes. There's a lot of good stuff coming, and I'm really looking forward to the new Matisse story. It's been a hot minute since we've had a good traumatic experience in NIKKE. These past few events have been way too happy, and that's not something that's allowed in my NIKKE. Anyways, guys, please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!